Good morning, everyone. So this is the start of our Facebook Live series from the Mill District. I'm Hannah, I'm the Director of Placemaking, and I'm really excited. So today, we don't have any guests on our live series today. We will in the future, but today it's just me. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what this live series is about, what the purpose of it is, where it came from, and then dive in a little bit talking about the Mill District in North Amherst. So I'm hoping people tune in. This is my first time doing this with the express purpose of fielding questions, fielding comments, and I'm hoping that it works. I am on my phone today, so I think it's a little different on the phone being able to see questions and comments. So if you're watching, welcome. And along the way, if you're posting a question and a comment and I'm not seeing it and I'm not responding, I'm going to apologize in advance. And I will follow up this video. One of the great things I think about Facebook and social media connecting is that even outside of this live video feed, we'll go back all week long in between these different series episodes and answer questions. So if I don't get you today while you're on and live with us, I will absolutely circle back and answer any questions either during the week or on our episode next week. So here's the plan. And as you can see, we're not in the Mill District today. I'm sure everybody is aware there's a lot going on in the world, right? So today I am broadcasting from my home in Greenfield. I got as clean a background as I could, but I am wishing that I was in the Mill District in North Amherst, and I'm wishing that I was down there, seeing what's going on, seeing who's out and about, walking around, visiting Atkins, and everything else that's there. So today the plan is that I'm going to talk a little bit about where this idea came from. I'm going to share with you all what's coming up on future episodes. We are going to be doing this for, I'm not sure how long. We're going to keep doing these series every week, Wednesday at 11 a.m. here on the Mill District Facebook page. And we're going to be talking to different people who are connected through the Mill District for all different reasons. So when I first stopped and was thinking about why we wanted to do a series like this, I think one of the things that has really struck me about this time is that we're in a place with our society, with our communities, where we're actually getting a deeper view into people's lives. We already had social media. We already were online a lot of the time. I'm sure there are a lot of us out there who would say maybe we're online a little too much. But now we've been forced to really look at these online platforms and say, what is it that we want as far as connection with one another? Now we all get to really take a pause, take a step back. We're in our homes for a lot of the time, and we have an opportunity to connect even more deeply than we otherwise might with one another. And what do we want to do in this time of connection and in this time of social distancing? So that was kind of where it started. Is I feel like in the Mill District, there's a lot going on. We have new apartments, we have businesses coming in. We also have businesses and community members who have been in the area for a long time. So as we start to really knit all of these pieces of the Mill District in North Amherst together, having a platform where we get to learn a little bit more about what businesses are already in North Amherst, who's coming in, who's interested in coming in, what do we as a community want in North Amherst, what's important to us. So over the next few weeks, the goal for me is to open the door wider, to say, you know, let's have a conversation about what's going on in the Mill District and talk to people who are in this mix with us. There are a lot of local partners that we work with in the Mill District. Next week, and I'll repeat this at the end, but next week we're going to be talking to Kirsten Modesto, who runs Brigade in Hadley, and they are an amazing branding and design firm, really just unbelievable team, and we've been working with them on the Mill District. And so Kirsten's going to come on and we're going to have a chat about branding and messaging and what has changed in this time of COVID and how has it impacted what we're putting out there, not only the Mill District from our perspective and how our messaging has shifted, but in general for her when she's working with clients, when her team is working with clients. What happened? How did this impact different groups and different people? So she'll be on next week, and then in future we'll have other partners coming on, like Shalini Ball, who is our mindfulness partner. She's been leading just really, really wonderful mindfulness, nice 40 minutes on Fridays at noon. If you haven't tuned in to take a moment of breath and awareness, we really, really recommend tuning in. It's a nice, you know, midday on Friday, end of the week, if you still have a sort of week structure to your life, and random Friday if, you know, time feels a little amorphous right now, which for some of us it really, really does. So she'll be on, we'll be talking to local business owners, hearing from them about how all of this has impacted them. And we'll be talking to potential future tenants who were, you know, might have already been on their way to locating in the Mill District in North Square and now are experiencing this pause. So we'll check in with them, we'll hear what's going on. One of the really wonderful things about the Valley is that people live in all different places. So business owners who have a business in the Mill District, they might live in another town. So right now we are in this amazing moment of intersection and really hearing how people's lives have been impacted in different corners of the Valley. So one of the things that is really important to me is keeping all of us connected, sharing these stories, putting these stories out there so that we can all really benefit from them. And I'm excited to have this opportunity in this space to connect with people, ideally live if the questions come through for me and I can answer them in real time. And I'll work out the kinks after today if I'm not able to see your questions live. But that's a little bit what we're going for. We're going for, you know, a nice 30 to 40 minutes of engagement. I, as the director of placemaking, I have the opportunity to talk to a lot of people in and around the Mill District, in and around North Amherst, Hadley. We get bigger and bigger and we ripple out. And when I'm able to have those one-on-one or small group conversations about the Mill District, I always find that it's really productive, really honest talk. And I love that. That's my kind of happy place in life, is if I'm in a conversation where, you know, ideals are being shared, opinions are being shared, and sometimes even with social media, we're not all as honest as we could be. We're not all getting our questions answered. We're not all connecting in a way that feels authentic. So my goal for this is that that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for some authenticity. We're aiming for some real conversations, real questions. You know, and maybe this is a first meeting. Maybe you watch this on Facebook Live, and then down the road we get to connect in person again when we get to the other side of this and figure out what it means to share space and what it means to come back together, and, you know, what the new rules are and what makes everybody feel comfortable gathering again in the future. That's going to be a process, and it's going to be a process that we are all engaging in together because everybody feels differently about things. But what we're experiencing right now is a common issue. we are all experiencing this issue. We're having very different experiences of it. That's life, right? We're all experiencing different things with work. We're all experiencing different things with family. We're all experiencing different things with how we personally feel about the space that we're having to take. But the common issue gives us this wonderful thing to rally around. So even though it's not ideal, right? Even though it's something that is very challenging and makes us face a lot of our fears, it makes us face a lot of our questions, and it is wreaking real havoc in people's lives, sadness and pain and things that we usually, shy away from and don't necessarily have an opportunity to talk about or even a desire to talk about. So I'm excited for this series because the invitation is broad. The invitation for us in the Mill District is to create the space, and the invitation for the folks that are going to come on this series with us and talk about their experiences for them to really open the door to everyone to see a piece of their life. And the invitation to everyone watching is to also share your ideas, share your questions, be a part of the conversation, and not just in this Facebook Live series. This is an open invitation to interact with the Mill District in this way all the time. This is our goal, is to create a space where it's a living, breathing gathering of community. We're going to have stores that are fun to come to and visit and really show up in person. That was the goal. Now we're having to look at that and say, all right, well, if we can't show up in person yet, what can we do in the meantime? And here we are. We're trying to connect in a different way on a different platform. So we are super excited to be engaging in this way. And I'm going to start today by talking a little bit about who's already in the Mill District, because there are many businesses that are already around us, and they're all going through different things. I'm not going to dive too deep today into the experiences of the different businesses that are in the Mill District. That's for other episodes. You're going to have to tune back in. But sometimes I am talking with someone and I share about a business that's in North Amherst and people didn't know. So we really are shooting for a good mix of businesses. That is really, really important as we're looking at who's coming into the area, as we're talking to community members about what they would like to see in the Mill District in North Amherst. And it's important to us to have businesses that really appeal to people. So we're listening to community members. We are wrapping our arms around that retail mix and saying, are we hitting this button, that button? Are we hearing from the community that they want a certain thing, that it's important to have different services? Right now, we have a really lovely blend. Atkins has been holding it down through this whole crisis. Atkins North has been open. They are still at this point closing the North store at the end of July. So we want to be upfront about that. We've had the opportunity to talk to many people in person about that. We're sad to see them go, and they've been a really wonderful partner. And we hear from the community how important it is to have a grocery store. We hear 100% that is crucial, and so it is our utmost goal to bring in another comparable store that's going to fill that niche. Because one of the things that we're really seeing as we look at this time of COVID is the closer you have amenities to where you live, the more potential you have to bike or walk to those amenities if you're able-bodied, or to have anyone who's helping you get the things you need be able to go out close to your home and bring those things back. That is absolutely imperative. So one of the things about the Mill District that feels really, really wonderful is that we are positioned in a perfect place to serve a lot of different audiences and really see who's moving through North Amherst, what the needs are, and how we make sure we are reaching the needs of different groups that have different goals. So, you know, there are a lot of people that live in and around North Amherst, in and around the Mill District. There are also a lot of people who are commuting through the Mill District. So we have people visiting, we have students on campus very nearby. There are a lot of people for whom these amenities are really, really crucial right now. And our whole idea of which stores, which groups really would benefit from being in North Amherst has been thrown into this really sharp relief by this crisis, because having Atkins North in the Mill District has been unbelievable. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who have been visiting Atkins North, and so they will be there and open until the end of July, and we are working very, very hard to make sure that those services are still in the Mill District after they leave. We also have really wonderful restaurants in the area. We want to give a shout out. Jake's and the Harp and Amherst House of Pizza and House of Teriyaki. Who am I forgetting? I think that's it. But those are really, really wonderful restaurants to have. Jake's has been closed. They've been taking the downtime to do some reorganization. We will hopefully talk to one or both of the owners down the line in this video series. So keep a lookout for when they're going to be joining us. The Harp, we posted about a couple days ago, has been open doing takeout. Their kitchen is open from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. every day. And they have been just crushing it, doing such amazing work with such a small team, doing takeout for people so that you can pick up your order there. They also provided food to Bay State Franklin Medical Center. You've probably seen around Facebook and in other places restaurants really stepping up and answering the call for these large orders for healthcare workers and first responders and people who are really at the front of this very, very challenging epidemic. So shout out to the Harp for that. Amherst House of Pizza also has been open for pickup and delivery as well, working with a small team. And House of Teriyaki is also open. So there are really great restaurants and access to food in the Mill District, which is so, so wonderful. And we also have seen some other businesses close, but I want to talk about them because we get a lot of questions. The first one I want to talk about is Hammer and Stain, which is a really great business. It's in the Riverside Shops, just across from the library, right at that just lovely intersection of North Amherst that we'll talk about in another episode. Hammer and Stain is not a hardware store. I get that question a lot. It would be a great name for a hardware store. But it's actually a DIY sign making shop where you can get your art making on. And that is really exciting. And if you go onto Hammer and Stain's website or Hammer and Stain Western Mass on Facebook, you'll see that Lori Kamens, who is the owner, has actually been making, even though the store is closed, she has kits that you can purchase online. She will make it for you, curbside pickup. It does take, I believe, a couple days turnaround, so a good thing to plan ahead for. But she has all different designs that you can choose. And, oh, thanks, Michelle. It's working. This is great. So you can choose designs. She will put together a little kit for you with everything you need for a home art project. So really great thing to do. You get different designs to choose from. You can do it at home. You can get a few different ones, have a little sign making, socially distanced party. And it's really fun. It's great stuff to do at home. And then in the future, when that space is open again, it's a really great place to have a party, have some bonding time. She's actually had a lot of businesses bring their employees in for kind of team building exercise, and it's just fun. It's just fun to paint things, and it's one of those places. I know there are people out there who are always saying, you know, oh, I'm not an artist, I can't, this isn't for me, I'm not. But here's the thing, right, is that you go in, they have a template for you, and you can bring your creativity around something that's already been sort of begun. And sometimes that impetus is really, really helpful. So if you've ever done paint your own pottery, or like a paint and sip kind of thing, it's like that, where there is a foundation for you to work on. And you can just sort of put all of those little voices in your head that say you're not an artist, just put them aside. You know, this is a new time. You get to be whoever you want to be. And if you want to make a cool sign for your house, Lori is on hand to help you. Also in the Riverside Shops, another place that when I talk about it, a lot of people haven't heard of is Vital Milk. Vital Milk is owned by Dawn Kennedy. She is fabulous, and this is definitely a niche store. It's not going to apply for everyone, but really, really crucial in this time of social distancing and staying at home. Dawn is a lactation specialist. She sells equipment around lactation and different baby mama needs. And not only is she a specialist, but she actually trains peer educators so that different communities have people embedded in them that have these skills, understand how to talk to one another, because baby needs are specific and they are challenging. And one of the things that is the hardest about this isolating time is that there are people in the community who are struggling with all different things and want to know that they are not alone in that struggle. And new babies, new mamas, that is very, very real. New parenting is not easy for anybody. Baby, mama, dad, partners, anyone, siblings, right? So Vital Milk in the Riverside Plaza. You can find her on Facebook and online. I'm hoping to have her on down the road so that she can talk about what she does, and people can get connected with resources that they need. So that is a really, really wonderful business that's in the Mill District that people might not have known about. So also in Riverside, Cumberland Farms, pretty self-explanatory. Bank of America ATM if you need that. Post office, oh my God, having a post office you can walk to. I think that the North Amherst post office is either closed or has limited hours. So please do check online to see what the rules are. Similarly with the North Amherst Library, I'm not sure if they are closed all the time or have limited hours, but if you're looking to use these really awesome resources that are in walking distance, please do check and see what their hours are. So also up in the Mill District is Kohl's Building Supply. If you are working on home projects, obviously, right, we've all been given a whole lot of time to be at home, time to work on some projects, time to, if you're me, try and figure out how to be a gardening master, like immediately. So Kohl's Building Supply is a really, really awesome place to have in the neighborhood. I've been there several times to pick things up. They also do deliveries. You can call and ask about that for some of your larger projects. And one of the wonderful things I can tell you, having gone into Kohl's Building Supply recently, is that they, like other businesses in the area, are taking all of this incredibly seriously. So when I go into Kohl's Building Supply, I have felt so comfortable knowing that things are clean, masks are being worn, they're really mindful of the social distancing, the tape on the floor, where you can stand, all of that stuff that as we all venture out back into the world, at some point there will be a lot of measures around how we do that safely so that everybody feels comfortable coming back together, because that point will come, right? There's going to be a point at which we all have to figure out what we're comfortable with coming back together. And I'm not trying to rush that by getting on here and talking about it, but you know, as I connect with friends and business owners and people on my team at Kohl's, Diana posted, the post office has limited hours. They are there 10 to 11 a.m. for window service. Thank you, Diana. That is awesome. So yes, and that is a very, very limited service. So that is good to know. I think they are open other times for people to visit their own P.O. boxes, but it sounds like just 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. for window service at the post office. That's awesome. So, as we talk about the different ways that we are going to come back together, everyone's going to have opinions, right? Everyone's going to have things that make them feel the most comfortable. That might be different from someone else, but the thing is that we are all being called right now to step up with our opinions and also make room for what we're hearing from other people. And this really, even though it's challenging, this is the whole thing about living together in the world as human beings, right? Is that we have to know what makes us comfortable. We have to be comfortable stating what it is that we need, and then stepping up to meet one another's needs and getting creative about how we come back together. That really is my job in the Mill District, is figuring out how we come out on the other side of this. So I'm very open to talking about that anytime. If anyone wants to, pontificate with me on, how are we going to come out on the other side? How are we going to talk about gathering? How are we going to talk about businesses reopening? If you follow the chamber online or the Amherst Business Improvement District, they have been doing such an amazing job. The Amherst Chamber, I should say. They've been doing an amazing job talking about Amherst businesses and what resources are out there for those businesses. So please check them out. They are amazing partners and have been doing so much personally, and then also to share information from other bodies and organizations. So that is wonderful. So as we kind of look ahead and talk about what are the first steps, what can we as the Mill District provide for this time that we're all still social distancing, while we're looking ahead to future businesses and making plans that are on a very unsure timeline right now. What can we do? And one of the things that we've really realized at Kohl's is that we have a lot of space, and space is just the thing right now. So as the weather gets nicer, we're encouraging people to get outside more. We're looking to the public art that we can put out there, because that can be enjoyed at your own pace. So stay tuned on our Facebook page for public art installations that are going to be coming. We'll talk about that more with Ariel Jessup, our artist in residence, on another episode. I'm just putting all the episodes out there. And then we also are just going to keep leveraging this virtual world. So we have Pride Month coming up in June. We're going to have lots of things through our Facebook page that you can tune into and be a part of as we celebrate Pride Month in Amherst. Our goal in the Mill District, I know I've said that so many times, right? I need a shirt that says our goal in the Mill District. But really, our goal in the Mill District is to keep tapping into what we're able to offer right now, the ways that we're able to connect right now, and how we look ahead and respond to the information that we're all getting. So our responsibility in creating this place is to be mindful of all the things that are important to people, and all the things that people are missing, and all the things that people want to see and want to still have happen. So that's another invitation to everybody who is watching. Please feel free to message us or comment on this link once it's finalized and posted, or comment right now. Let us know what you want to talk about. Let us know what you want to hear about. Let us know who you want to talk to. Let us know if there's someone that we should be talking to in the Mill District in North Amherst and the surrounding area. We have a lot of plans for the future. We're trying to figure out how to still open Hannah's Gallery somehow. I'm sure there are folks watching that have heard me go on and on about Hannah's Gallery, and I'm actually going to talk about that on a future episode. So the more you tune in, the more you interface with us here, the more you talk to us in general, the better the Mill District and all of us are going to be. Because this time for connection Connection is the one thing that this has not taken away from us. COVID has not killed our desire for connection and our desire for honesty and our desire for sharing our opinions. And sometimes, you know, on really dark days, in really dark moments, when we're feeling that loneliness or we're feeling that loss of the lifestyle and the in-person connection that really feeds us, there is something to hold on to in that we as human beings are persevering, and we are on a continuum of human existence that has really, turn my alarm off. We're on a continuum of human existence where we as human beings, even if this is unprecedented in our personal lifetime, it's not unprecedented as far as challenges. Challenges for human beings, that is how we evolve and grow and figure out what's next. So I put it to all of you. I'm going to wrap this up. I know this has been a bit of a whirlwind. I'm looking forward to next Wednesday, 11 a.m. Kirsten Modesto from Brigade in Hadley. Look them up online. They're amazing. And I'm going to put it to all of you to join us with the Mill District in this moment of connecting. Join us with your opinions and your comments. Feel free to email me at Hannah, HANNAH, yes, it's a palindrome, at Cowls, COWLS.com with your questions, your comments, your ideas for guests. We would really love to hear them. And we just invite you to keep joining us here for all the different events. You can visit our Facebook page, the Mill District NA, and you can see all the different things that are going on. We encourage you to support local businesses. Check out who's still open. Very often you can find on their Facebook pages, and we'll keep sharing info. North Amherst Motors was the other one that I did want to highlight, and the Amherst Survival Center, both open and operating, providing such crucial services right now. So please follow us. Please keep joining us. Please communicate with us. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. And please remember that we are all connected all the time, even in the moments where you don't feel it. So thank you for tuning in. Take a walk through the Mill District. Send us pictures. We miss you all, and we will see you all soon. Mwah!